then do that for sure. That'll sound better.
Standing at the gate, waiting on a plane. Strange as it seems, maybe I should stay.
Hey, Mike back here with Canadian Musician right now in Metalworks Studios in Mississauga. Of course, one of the most legendary studio spaces in Canada. And with me is Jarrett and Chad of Vancouver-based folk rock band The Long War, of course, winners of this year's edition of the CBC Searchlight competition, in which you guys beat out, I can't remember what the number of entries was now, but well over 1,000 different different acts to be named Searchlight winners, and of course, as part of that, here recording their upcoming album. But guys, it's the last day of the recording process for you guys. How's it been?
It's been great. It's been a great experience. Lots of positive vibes in there, and we just love how it sounds.
I've been hearing, well, you guys gave me a sneak peek of 3 tracks off the album. You guys, I think it's your 8th day now, you're wrapping up. Is it EP, LP? What are you guys working on and what's in the works?
I think we're just trying to get 6 strong songs, and I think that might translate to technically an EP. But we're confident with the 6, and we're very happy with how they sound.
And I was hearing, I believe it's Landscapes is the title. Well, will be the, am I giving away secrets here? Maybe I was even supposed to say that. Is that all right if I cool if I reveal that? But I heard the song Landscapes, which will be apparently the title track off the album, which is sounding absolutely mega. Like it's it's the kind of thing that I can totally hear catching on radio and elsewhere. No promises, but it's just I heard it. I was like, man, this song has potential. But no, anyways, I was just wondering, how fully formed were these songs? Like, did you guys knew exactly what you're going to be coming in here and doing? My buddy Kevin Dietz, of course, main engineer here at Metalworks, has been working with you guys. Before you came in here and started working with Kevin, did you guys have a pretty good idea of what you'd be recording?
Yeah, we did. We wanted to come in. Excuse me. We wanted to come in as prepared as possible, just sort of how we do things, and obviously Kevin's been unbelievable and had some great ideas and put some of his magic in there as well. But yeah, we try to be as prepped as we can be. Yeah.
For Chad, how's it been going? Like, what's the experience been like for you guys? Has there been any bumps in the road, or has it been going pretty smoothly?
I think it's just been fantastic. I mean, walking into the building and seeing all the names on the walls and all the accolades, and working with Kevin as well and seeing his pedigree of musicians that he's worked with, it's just really cool to add the Long War to those names. So it's been, it's been a real treat, and just trying to make the most of this opportunity.
And opportunity, of course, comes with the Searchlight Contest. I'm just wondering, what was the, I guess, reasoning, impetus, inspiration to put in your submission for Searchlight to begin with, and at that stage, did you guys have, was there a thought in your head of, we could do this?
Well, Chad put together a list of things to do, and festivals, contests, whatever. Just a big old list, and we entered Searchlight sort of just on a whim. We'd never thought that we would win it. It was just something that we thought would be fun to sort of be a part of. Turned out okay.
Chad, I guess if you're the one with it on the to-do list, was it just something you saw, or what was the reasoning?
Actually, my friend Katie just kind of sent me a text and said, hey, you guys should apply to this, just kind of adding it to the to-do list things to do. You just cast the net big enough and hopefully you catch, you get a couple bites or whatever, but certainly not a thought in my mind that we would have made the 10 regional finalists, let alone the top in Canada. Yeah, for sure.
What's to kind of rewind back to the beginning, what's the story of the Long War? Like, how long have you guys been together? How did you come together?
Oh, that's a good one. Over a year now, not too long as a group. The band started with Chad and myself. We've known each other
for a while, actually. We met back in Ottawa. Chad used to, Chad heard an old band of mine play. That's how we met, and Chad started coming to an open mic that I ran, and we sort of, we've been friends ever since, and we both, made our way to Vancouver, stayed friends, and then one day Chad said, "Hey man, let's do a show together, just a 2-piece," and we did, and it sort of grew from there, actually. Nice. Yeah.
Were you guys writing songs together right away? Like, Jarrett, as a singer, do you take the lead on the songs? Like, how's that working? Or do you guys, along with the two others in the band, is it more of a band songwriting process, or does one of you guys take the lead?
I think it's interesting, actually. The Breathe In, Breathe Out, the submission for CBC was actually the first song that Jarrett and I ever wrote together. Nice. He took the first line and said, "Hey man, I need some help," and he gave me the second verse and helped him out with a line in the bridge as well. I like most of the songs come from Jarrett first, and I like that because I think it presents a sense of cohesion in the sound. However, Neil is a phenomenal songwriter. Carson has a great ear for composition. So when those songs get into the room, we have the kernel from Jarrett, and then we are able to flesh them out and make it the long war for sure.
And since you guys won, I believe the Banff Residency has happened now. A lot of people might not even know. Maybe they might have heard of the Banff. I forget what it's even called. Banff Arts Center, Banff Center for Arts and Creativity. Some people may be familiar with the name, but not even really totally sure of what it is and what the residency would be about. But how did that go? What did it entail?
We had about 6 days to write a song for Canada's 150th with Royal Wood, and then 4 days to record it. So it went great. I mean, it was cool because you're in an environment where it's very magical, and it's just all about being creative. You're surrounded by mountains, and you're just sort of in that mode. There were some challenges to writing the song, I think, and it was a big, task. Yeah.
I'd imagine, just to put myself in your shoes if it was possible, like, I'd imagine that's a fairly unnatural thing for a songwriter to be tasked with writing a song for a thing, for an event, something like, you're writing a song for Canada's 150. I'd imagine that's pretty, unusual as far as how you would usually go about writing, even if you're working with someone, and even a collaborative process with someone like Royal Wood. You guys are used to writing together and as a band and that, but bringing in a stranger, especially maybe even a notable stranger, it all seems fairly unnatural, as cool as it could be. But yeah, just to expand on that idea, like, was it how did you find it from that perspective?
It's tough. I mean, it's really tough. Like I was saying earlier, a lot of the songs start with Jarrett, and the Canada 150 song was no different. He brought some ideas to the room, and we really picked him apart. We were trying to write a song for a very large country, and there's a lot of voices in the country that that are represent what makes up this land. So how do 5 guys in a room do that? So we were really picking the lyrics apart, picking the vocals apart, and luckily we didn't get kicked out. The discussions got heated, but I mean there was definitely some compassion and some you're writing from a place of honesty and trying to represent it. So, but it's not an easy task, and I think Royal's direction definitely was a huge help as well. Yeah.
I haven't heard the song. I don't believe the song is out yet. I don't know how much you can give away, but is there an angle to that task that you settled on, a theme or a way in which you approached it that you guys ended up settling on that you could say at this point?
I think for me the theme was acknowledging the past while striving to move towards something better, and that's it. That's for me. There's obviously quite a bit of like pride in it, and that's how I'd look at it actually. Yeah.
I like the way that you started out the song too. Is you started out as like a love song, and we kind of evolved from there, and it was a love song to Canada. which I thought was a really cool approach to start that writing process. Yeah.
Once you guys won, aside from just the perks that come with the the various elements of the prize pack and that, but maybe even just the validation that comes with winning something like Searchlight, did it change the way you guys just mentally approach the band, and like how so?
Well, definitely felt more validated, put a lot of years into music, and to finally have something like this sort of happen out of the blue. Yeah, you get pretty serious pretty fast. Everything moves pretty quick at that point, and it's a good group of people that all have sort of the same goals in mind and the same work ethic, and we're working really hard. I think that's what's changed for us. We were always working hard, but now it's like, wow, let's really dig in. Yeah.
And lastly, just where do you guys go from here? A, on a more practical level, when's the EP going to be out or album going to be out? But just what's your plans, maybe on a more macro level as a band? How do you want your career to progress from this point?
I think most importantly is just sharing these songs first and foremost, getting them in front of people. Everyone that writes a song wants people to listen to it. So we've had some incredible feedback just from the Breathe In Breathe Out performance on CBC. So I'm really excited to hear some of the feedback from people about these. And then after that, play as many shows, and then looking forward to writing the next record. Just moving forward as a band.
I gotta say, of the 3 songs that I heard, Landscape and Ghosts, both, got my knees bouncing, and I could definitely hear, it's not a stretch to think that those songs could catch on and get some attention. And the third song, the name's escaping me, but it was a more mellow song, but it was a beautiful song, Abigail. I would say, though, just from those 3, I'm really excited to hear the whole album. And man, it's sounding fantastic, but keep an eye out for it. The Long War out of Vancouver, of course, won Searchlight, but I don't want to even keep harping on the Searchlight thing. They're just a great band, and it's glad that something put a focus on it. And but yeah, Landscape, I guess, is going to be the name of the album once it finally is, or Landscapes plural. It's going to be the name once it drops. And sorry, did you mention it? But is there a time when we can expect it?
Undetermined yet, but either late this year or very early next. Okay. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, and just keep an eye on that title track as well as Ghost and Abigail. I love it. Anyways, thanks for this, guys. I'll let you finish up the album.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
No worries.